Let me tell you something real. Everybody has a dream. Everybody talks about what they want, but wanting something and working toward it are two very different things. Dreams don't fail. People fail to put dates on them. See, when there's no deadline, there's no urgency. And when there's no urgency, comfort steps in. And comfort is the enemy of growth. Dreams without deadlines remain wishes because a dream without a time frame has no weight, no urgency, and no demand placed on the person carrying it. When there is no deadline, the dream stays comfortable. It lives safely in the imagination. Untouched by pressure, protected from failure, and free from accountability. You can talk about it for years and feel productive just by speaking on it, but nothing actually changes. A wish feels good because it asks for nothing in return. A deadline, on the other hand, demands effort, sacrifice, and consistency. The moment you attach a deadline to a dream, it stops being an idea and starts becoming a responsibility. People often say they are waiting for the right moment, the right resources, or the right mindset. But waiting without a deadline is just another form of avoidance. Time keeps moving whether you are ready or not. The calendar does not pause because you are unsure, tired, or afraid. Without a deadline, you give yourself permission to delay, to hesitate, and to stay in familiar patterns. That delay slowly turns into years. And those years quietly turn into regret. What hurts most is not failing at a dream, but realizing you never truly pursued it. A deadline creates urgency, and urgency changes behavior. When there is a date attached, excuses lose their power. You start waking up differently. You become more aware of how you spend your hours. Distractions that once felt harmless suddenly feel expensive. A deadline forces you to confront your habits, your discipline, and your priorities. It exposes whether the dream is truly important or just something you like talking about when life feels routine. Pressure does not destroy purpose, it reveals it. Dreams without deadlines allow comfort to stay in control. Comfort convinces you that tomorrow will be easier, that next month will be better, and that someday you will feel more prepared. But comfort has no interest in your growth. It wants you safe, predictable, and unchanged. A deadline challenges comfort. It pushes you into discomfort, where learning happens and strength is built. Growth has never lived in ease. It lives in commitment under pressure. When there is no deadline, motivation becomes the leader, and motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes based on mood, energy, and circumstances. One bad day can shut everything down. A deadline does not care how you feel. It demands action even when motivation is low. That is where discipline is formed. Discipline is not built by inspiration. It is built by showing up repeatedly because a decision has already been made. Deadlines force you to rely on discipline instead of emotion. A dream with no deadline also avoids measurement. If there is no date, there is no way to track progress, no way to evaluate effort, and no way to adjust strategy. You cannot manage what you refuse to define. Deadlines bring clarity. They turn big dreams into smaller, actionable steps. They help you see where you are falling short and where you need to improve. Without that clarity, effort becomes random, and randomness rarely produces results. Fear often hides behind the absence of deadlines. Fear of failing, fear of being exposed, fear of realizing you may not be as committed as you claim. By keeping the dream undefined, you protect your ego. You can always say it just was not the right time. A deadline removes that protection. It forces honesty. It asks you to look at yourself and answer whether you are willing to pay the price for what you say you want. Life rewards movement, not intention. The world does not respond to dreams that stay in your head. It responds to execution. Deadlines create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence strengthens belief. That cycle never starts without a decision. And a decision is incomplete without a timeline. Dreams become real the moment they are scheduled. Every meaningful achievement in life was once a dream that someone was brave enough to put on the clock. Deadlines do not guarantee success, but they guarantee effort. They guarantee growth. They guarantee that the dream will no longer be a passive thought, but an active pursuit. Without a deadline, the dream stays safe, untouched, and unfulfilled, existing only as a wish that time slowly erases. Urgency separates achievers from talkers because urgency changes how a person moves, thinks, and responds to opportunity. Talkers love ideas, plans, and conversations about what they are going to do. Achievers live in action. The difference is not talent, intelligence, or even resources. The difference is speed. Achievers feel the weight of time. They understand that life is not waiting on them to feel ready. And because of that understanding, they move with purpose. Talkers believe there will always be more time. Achievers know time is the one thing you never get back. Urgency creates momentum. When something matters enough, you do not wait for perfect conditions. You start with what you have, where you are, and you adjust along the way. Talkers delay action by overthinking, overplanning, and overanalyzing. They confuse preparation with progress. Urgency cuts through that confusion. It forces decisions. It forces movement. It forces commitment. Achievers understand that imperfect action today is more powerful than perfect intention tomorrow. People without urgency are often comfortable. Comfort slows everything down. It makes delays feel harmless and excuses feel reasonable. Urgency disrupts comfort. It creates an internal pressure that says this matters now. When urgency is present, distractions lose their appeal. You stop wasting energy on things that do not move you forward. Your focus sharpens because you understand the cost of inaction. Achievers feel that cost deeply. Talkers rarely do. Urgency also reveals priorities. Everyone claims they want success, growth, or change. But urgency shows who truly does. When something becomes urgent, you make time for it. You rearrange your schedule. You sacrifice convenience. Talkers say they want results, but protect their comfort. Achievers are willing to be uncomfortable because they understand that urgency demands sacrifice. What you move quickly for is what you truly value. There is a level of intensity that comes with urgency. It is not panic or chaos. It is clarity. It is knowing that the moment you are in matters. Achievers bring intensity to their work because they respect the opportunity in front of them. They do not treat chances casually. Talkers wait for motivation, encouragement, or validation. Achievers create their own fuel by acting. Urgency becomes the engine that keeps them going even when motivation fades. Urgency builds discipline. When time matters, excuses lose their strength. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop saying maybe tomorrow. You stop lowering the standard. Achievers operate with urgency because they know consistency compounds. Small actions done with urgency, day after day, separate progress from stagnation. Talkers rely on bursts of inspiration. Achievers rely on daily execution. Fear often slows people down, but urgency pushes past fear. Achievers feel fear just like everyone else, but urgency tells them that staying still is more dangerous than moving forward. Talkers let fear delay them. They wait until confidence shows up, not realizing confidence is built through action. Urgency does not eliminate fear. It simply refuses to let fear make decisions. Urgency also changes how you respond to setbacks. Achievers do not waste time complaining or blaming. When something goes wrong, urgency says adjust and move. Talkers stay stuck analyzing what happened, replaying mistakes, and explaining failure. Achievers learn quickly because they are always moving forward. Urgency keeps them from getting trapped in the past. The world rewards urgency because urgency creates value. Opportunities go to those who are ready to act, not those who are still thinking about it. Achievers recognize moments and move before doubt can settle in. Talkers hesitate, hoping for certainty that never comes. Urgency understands that certainty is built after action, not before. In the end, urgency is not about rushing. It is about respect. Respect for time, respect for opportunity, respect for the life you say you want. Achievers respect time enough to act now. Talkers disrespect time by assuming it will always be there. That difference, repeated daily, quietly draws the line between those who move forward and those who stay exactly where. Their discipline gives life to vision. Because vision alone has no power unless it is supported by consistent action. Vision shows you what could be, but discipline determines whether it ever becomes real. Many people can see a better future for themselves. They can imagine success, growth, and change in clear detail. What separates those who live that future from those who only talk about it is discipline. Discipline is the daily decision to act in alignment with the vision even when the excitement fades and the work feels ordinary. Vision is inspiring, but inspiration is temporary. It comes in moments, often when emotions are high or when motivation feels strong. Discipline remains when inspiration leaves. It does not rely on feelings. It relies on commitment. When discipline is present, progress continues even on days when energy is low and confidence is shaky. That consistency is what turns vision from imagination into reality. Without discipline, vision becomes frustrating. You know where you want to go, but you stay stuck where you are. That gap between vision and action creates disappointment and self-doubt. Discipline closes that gap. It bridges the distance between where you are and where you want to be. It does this not through dramatic moves, but through small, repeated actions that compound over time. Discipline demands structure. It forces you to organize your time, control your habits, and make intentional choices. Vision without structure drifts. Discipline gives vision direction. It tells you when to wake up, what to focus on, and what to avoid. It teaches you to say no to distractions that steal time from your purpose. Every disciplined choice is a vote for the future you claim to want. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you begin to believe in your own word. That belief strengthens confidence. Vision grows clearer when you trust yourself to execute. Without discipline, you break promises to yourself, and over time, that weakens belief. You start doubting whether you are capable of achieving what you envision. Discipline restores that belief by proving day after day that you can do hard things. There is a level of sacrifice that discipline requires. Vision often demands change, and change is uncomfortable. Discipline asks you to give up what feels good now for what will feel right later. It challenges instant gratification. It pushes you to choose long-term growth over short-term comfort. That sacrifice is not easy, but it is necessary. Vision cannot survive in an environment dominated by convenience. Discipline also sharpens focus. When you are disciplined, you stop chasing everything and start committing to something. Vision becomes clearer when your attention is not divided. Discipline protects your focus by setting boundaries. It limits wasted effort and scattered energy. Focused effort, applied consistently, is what turns potential into performance. Setbacks are inevitable, but discipline determines how you respond to them. Vision alone may falter when obstacles appear. Discipline keeps you moving when progress feels slow or invisible. It reminds you that growth is not always obvious in the moment. Discipline understands that results are often delayed, but effort is never wasted. This mindset keeps vision alive even when circumstances are challenging. Discipline does not mean perfection. It means persistence. It means showing up again after failure, adjusting strategy, and continuing forward. Vision stays alive through repetition, not through flawless execution. Discipline allows room for mistakes without allowing excuses. It keeps standards high while accepting the reality of struggle. Over time, discipline transforms identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who hopes or dreams. You see yourself as someone who acts. Vision stops being something in the distance and starts becoming part of who you are. Discipline shapes character, and character sustains vision when motivation disappears. Vision may be the spark, but discipline is the fuel. Without fuel, the spark dies. With discipline, the vision grows stronger, clearer, and more attainable with each passing day. It is discipline that gives vision movement, endurance, and strength. Turn what you see in your mind into something you can hold in your hand. Pressure reveals commitment because pressure removes comfort, excuses, and appearances, leaving only what a person is truly willing to stand on. When things are easy, everyone looks committed. Anyone can show up when conditions are favorable, energy is high, and results come quickly. True commitment is exposed when the weight increases, when expectations rise, and when the cost becomes real. Pressure does not create character, it uncovers it. Under pressure, priorities become clear. What you claim matters most is tested when time is limited, resources are scarce, and obstacles appear. When pressure shows up, some people retreat, hesitate, or look for a way out. Others lean in, adjust, and push forward. That difference has nothing to do with talent or opportunity. It has everything to do with commitment. Pressure forces a choice between comfort and responsibility. Pressure eliminates excuses when the stakes are high. Explanations lose value. Results become the focus. People who are truly committed stop talking and start doing because they understand that pressure demands action, not justification. Those who are less committed often use pressure as a reason to quit, slow down, or lower standards. Pressure does not change the goal. It tests how badly you want it. Commitment under pressure requires resilience. It means staying consistent when progress is slow and outcomes are uncertain. Pressure brings doubt, fear, and fatigue to the surface. It challenges belief. It questions confidence. Those who are committed do not deny these feelings, but they do not allow them to take control. They move forward despite discomfort because their commitment is rooted in decision, not emotion. Pressure also exposes preparation. When pressure arrives, you fall back on what you have practiced, not what you hope to do. Commitment is reflected in the work done before the pressure shows up. People who have been disciplined and intentional are able to respond with clarity and control. Those who relied on shortcuts or motivation struggle when pressure demands performance. Commitment shows in readiness. There is a level of sacrifice that pressure demands. When things become difficult, commitment asks what you are willing to give up to keep going. Time, comfort, sleep, and convenience are often the price. People who are committed understand that pressure requires trade-offs. They are willing to pay that price because the goal matters more than the discomfort. Those who are not committed protect their comfort and slowly disconnect from the mission. Pressure tests consistency. Anyone can be intense for a short period, but pressure often lasts longer than expected. Commitment is revealed in endurance. It shows in the ability to maintain effort when results are delayed and recognition is absent. Pressure exposes whether your drive is dependent on praise or anchored in purpose. Those who are committed continue working even when no one is watching. Pressure also brings clarity to values. When difficult decisions must be made, commitment becomes visible through choices. Do you cut corners or uphold standards? Do you blame circumstances or take responsibility? Pressure forces decisions that reveal what you stand for. Commitment is not just about staying in the game. It is about how you stay in the game. Pressure strengthens those who remain committed. Each challenge faced and endured builds confidence and credibility. Commitment proven under pressure carries weight. It creates trust with others and belief within yourself. You know what you are capable of because you have seen yourself respond when it mattered most. That confidence cannot be faked or borrowed. It is earned through experience. Many people misunderstand pressure as something to avoid. In reality, pressure is a mirror. It shows you the truth about your dedication, your discipline, and your desire. It separates interest from commitment. It draws a clear line between those who like the idea of success and those who are willing to carry the burden that comes with it. Pressure does not ask if you are talented or confident. It asks if you are committed enough to continue when the journey becomes uncomfortable, uncertain, and demanding. The answer is revealed not by words, but by actions taken when the pressure refuses to ease. Time doesn't wait for motivation because time moves forward without regard for how you feel, what you believe, or what you are prepared to do. Motivation is unpredictable. It rises and falls based on mood, energy, and circumstances. Time, however, is constant. Every second passes, whether you act or not. Waiting to feel motivated is a quiet way of giving time permission to slip away. By the time motivation shows up, opportunities may already be gone. Many people rely on motivation as the starting point, believing that once they feel inspired, action will follow. The problem is motivation is often a result of movement, not the cause of it. Time does not pause while you wait for the right feeling. It keeps moving, carrying chances, seasons, and moments with it. Those who understand this truth learn to act first and allow motivation to catch up later. Time exposes habits. If you only move when you feel motivated, progress becomes inconsistent. Inconsistent effort produces inconsistent results. Over time, that inconsistency turns into stagnation. Days pass without meaningful action. Weeks go by without improvement. And months disappear without growth. Time keeps a record, even when you are not paying attention. It reveals whether you have been disciplined or delayed. Motivation often depends on comfort. When things feel good, motivation is high. When things get difficult, motivation fades. Time does not adjust to your comfort level. Responsibilities remain. Deadlines approach. Life continues to demand action. Those who wait for motivation find themselves constantly reacting, always behind, and often overwhelmed. Those who respect time create routines and systems that function regardless of how they feel. Time rewards consistency, not intensity. A short burst of motivated effort cannot compete with steady action over time. Small steps taken daily compound into meaningful progress. Time multiplies whatever you consistently do. If you consistently delay, time multiplies regret. If you consistently act, time multiplies growth. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline sustains it through time. Waiting for motivation also shifts responsibility away from the individual. It suggests that action is dependent on a feeling rather than a choice. Time does not recognize excuses. It does not care if you were tired, unsure, or uninspired. It simply moves forward, carrying consequences with it. Taking ownership means acting despite low motivation, because you understand the cost of inaction. Time teaches urgency. Each passing moment is a reminder that there are no guarantees. Opportunities are often temporary. Windows open and close without announcement. Waiting to feel ready can mean missing the moment entirely. People who move understand that progress favors those who act when conditions are imperfect. Time respects movement, not hesitation. Motivation can make action easier, but it is not required. Commitment is stronger than motivation because it is rooted in decision. When you commit, you act because you decided to, not because you felt like it. Time responds to commitment by providing results, lessons, and growth. It does not respond to intention alone. There is a quiet confidence that comes from acting without motivation. Each time you show up when you do not feel like it, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes momentum. Momentum reduces the need for motivation because action becomes habitual. Time then works in your favor, reinforcing the habit and strengthening your discipline. Life does not slow down for uncertainty. Bills still come. Responsibilities still exist. Goals still demand effort. Time continues to move, indifferent to your internal struggle. Those who understand this stop negotiating with their feelings and start honoring their responsibilities. They respect time enough to act now. Waiting for motivation is a gamble with time, and time always wins. The people who grow, achieve, and evolve are not the ones who felt motivated every day, but the ones who understood that time would not wait and chose to move anyway. Execution is the real dream, because ideas without action never leave the mind. Dreams feel powerful when they are imagined, but imagination alone produces nothing tangible. Many people fall in love with the vision of success, the lifestyle, and the recognition, yet never experience any of it because they stop at thinking. Execution is where dreams either come alive or quietly die. It is the difference between potential and progress. Ideas are common. Everyone has them. Dreams are shared freely in conversations, notebooks, and late-night thoughts. What is rare is the willingness to execute consistently. Execution requires effort, patience, and resilience. It demands showing up repeatedly, even when the excitement fades. The real challenge is not dreaming big, but doing the work when no one is watching and no applause is given. Execution exposes reality. When you act, you discover what works and what does not. You learn through experience, not imagination. Dreams protect you from failure because they exist safely in your mind. Execution removes that protection. It invites mistakes, setbacks, and criticism. Many avoid execution because it threatens their self-image. It is easier to hold on to the idea of what you could be than to risk discovering where you actually stand. Execution builds clarity. The more you act, the clearer your direction becomes. You stop guessing and start understanding. Adjustments are made through movement, not thought. Waiting for perfect clarity before acting only leads to delay. Execution creates the clarity people claim they are waiting for. Execution also builds confidence. Confidence does not come from visualizing success. It comes from doing the work and surviving the struggle. Each completed task, no matter how small, reinforces belief. Confidence earned through execution is durable because it is based on evidence. You trust yourself because you have proven that you can take action. Dreaming is comfortable. Execution is demanding. Dreaming costs nothing. Execution costs time, energy, and focus. It requires sacrifice. You have to give up comfort, convenience, and sometimes approval. Execution forces you to prioritize. You cannot execute everything, so you must choose what matters most. That choice reveals commitment. Execution separates talk from truth. Anyone can describe what they want. Execution shows what they are willing to do. Results do not respond to intention, they respond to action. The world does not reward ideas that stay hidden. It rewards effort that produces value. Execution is how value is created. Execution is not about perfection. It is about progress. Waiting to execute until conditions are ideal is another form of fear. Progress is built through imperfect action, corrections, and persistence. Execution accepts that mistakes are part of the process. Each mistake becomes feedback, guiding the next step forward. Execution requires discipline. Motivation may spark action, but discipline sustains it. When execution becomes habitual, momentum is created. Momentum reduces resistance. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes routine. Execution then becomes part of identity rather than a struggle. Execution turns dreams into experiences. Experiences shape perspective, character, and growth. A dream that stays unexecuted never teaches you anything. It never strengthens you. It never tests you. Execution, even when it fails, develops resilience and skill. There is value in the attempt because it moves you forward. Execution demands accountability. When you act, you can measure progress, evaluate effort, and adjust strategy. Dreams without execution cannot be measured or improved. Execution brings structure and feedback, allowing growth to occur intentionally. Execution is where courage lies. It takes courage to start, to continue, and to finish. Execution means risking failure in public and learning in real time. That courage is what transforms dreams from fantasies into realities. In the end, the dream is not the idea, the vision, or the hope of what could be. The dream is the daily decision to execute, to move forward, to take responsibility for turning thought into action and possibility into reality.